Hello Hanji Kidda and Happy New Year people. Back with another video, and today we're reviewing Ipswich Town 2, Chelsea 0. Before we get into anything though, you know we got to do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes for all your care needs in the Black Country and Birmingham area. Massive shout outs to Mark Darcy for all your formal menswear needs. And of course the Desi Ballers highlighting all South Asians in all levels in the beautiful game. I'll put their details in the description. Make sure you check them out. And like I say all the time, if you're brand new here and you ain't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button and turn the notifications on. It's 2025. Last year was our first year doing YouTube. We hit over 130,000 views, which shout out to all you guys engaging and everything. But looking at the stats, I can see that 90% of you guys that watch this content aren't subscribed. So if you ain't already, like I said, hit that subscribe button. And if you have, tell your friends, tell your family, and let's grow this channel for 2025. But let's get to it then. So where do we start with that one then? So if we look at the lineups and all the rest of it, Maresca made 5 changes from the team that lost to Fulham on Boxing Day. That team that Chelsea put out against Fulham was probably their strongest 11. So I think it's fair to say, if there are Chelsea fans here watching or whatever, let me know in the comments. But I think it's fair to say that they've obviously made the changes. So the team they put out against us wasn't their strongest team, but nonetheless would have been a team that should have been capable of at least putting up a fight or whatever. So the difference they made, so at right back, well, first of all, the keeper, they swapped the keeper over. They brought that Jorgensen in. They brought Disasi at right back. They brought in Yao Felix on the left wing, Maduenke, I think that's how you pronounce his name, on the right wing, and Nkuku up top for them as well. So they're still good players, and certainly I think their keeper was all right, and Yao Felix, I thought they were probably some of their stronger players on the pitch. But yeah, changes that they've made, so 5 from there, and then for Town we made 4 changes. Kept the same formation, which was good to see because, you know, we built something at Arsenal and we'd seen it at Tottenham. It's about trying to make us more compact and harder to break down and using those wing backs. So obviously the first major change was obviously Muric not dropped. From what we understand, he had a quad injury, so he's had a bit of an injury for a couple of weeks. So he sat this one out and Walton stepped up and he had a really good game. Wolfie kept his spot as well, and I thought he was brilliant against Arsenal. And again, we'll get on to player ratings, but he was also brilliant against Chelsea. And Wes Burns, right wing back, I've been crying out for it for a long time, man. Certainly this season, but I think that's one of his strongest positions, certainly in the Prem as well. He can get forward, and he is good defensively, and he showed that. Again, we'll do player ratings, but he had a solid game. Sammy, obviously, back from his suspension, so he come in for Calvin Phillips. And then another player that we've been crying out for, not just myself, but, you know, loads of other fans as well. Broadbean, good old Nathan Broadhead, was back in the starting lineup. So him and Amari were just going to be out kind of just behind Liam Delap. But yeah, man, a few changes and a very positive team. And it also meant that we had a fairly strong bench that, you know, should we need to make changes, you know, we had people like, you know, Jack Clark could come on. You got people like even Ali who had a good cameo as well. Jack Taylor as well. And you've obviously Ben Johnson in that right wing back role. But again, we'll get on to player ratings in a bit. But then yeah, man, straight from the off, we were at them. You know, Leaf gets down that left wing, puts a cross in. Obviously, it gets cleared away. And there's some good periods of play between sort of Amari's really positive, Broadbean's playing really positive, and defensively we're looking solid. You know, we're shutting them out, we're limiting them, and it's looking really good. And then the breakthrough, man, Liam Delap penalty, and I've heard a few people saying it's not a penalty, it's this, it's that. Let's get it cleared up real quick for everyone. So it is a penalty, and there is contact. Now, all the shouts we've had over the season, if you think about Davis away at Man City, if you think about Jack Clark at Everton, if you think about Connor Chaplin against Leicester, you know, these were stone cold penalties, like Stonewall penalties, and they weren't given. Now, yes, it's a soft penalty. I will agree it is a soft penalty, but there's contact. The keeper comes out, the lap wins the ball first. That's the first part, yeah? So the ball, the keeper hasn't got the ball, right? Then, if you look, the trailing leg from the keeper catches the lap, which trips the lap. Because if you look, the lap is going, he slides in, wins the ball, he's then about to get up and arguably have a tap-in, empty net. But the trailing leg of Jorgensen, the goalkeeper, catches the lap and trips him down. He denies him a goal-scoring opportunity. It's a foul. Like, get over it if you're crying about it, Chelsea fans. It's a foul. This is what it is. And I will agree with you, it's soft, but it's a foul. Your keeper came out. He gave the referee decision. You know how you avoid that? You just don't come out. You don't rush off your line. Simple. Be better. Your keeper needs to do better there, and he didn't. So it's a penalty, but obviously getting the penalty is half of the battle. You know, then we waited 20 minutes for VAR, what felt like 20 minutes. And we need to discuss that, man. I know they're talking about trialing, I think it's in the Kebab Cup semi-finals or whatever, they're going to trial VAR announcements in the stadium. That will be good because, like, is it rugby or whatever that you can hear him talking about it in the stadium? And I think some of the American sports you can as well. So there's no reason we can't hear it because the audio is available after anyway. So we're always giving it after. We're giving the footage after. You know, even if you don't want to show the footage on there, at least have the audio so people know what's going on because it's a weird feeling, man. Because we got the penalty, but you couldn't really celebrate it. And then when VAR gave it, it's okay, you can celebrate it, but then we still got to put it in the back of the net. And Liam Delap, man, up steps Delap. And, you know, we'll come on to player ratings, like I said, what a game he had. But he ain't going to miss. You know, that is a proper penalty. Bottom corner, away he goes. Does his little kiss celebration, little jump thing, man. What a boy, man. But yeah, man, what a goal. 1-0. And we are buzzing and Portman Road is rocking. And then at that point, you know, as you'd expect, Chelsea do come at us and they are trying to, you know, throw everything at us and find that goal. Cole Palmer, he's obviously had a... Was it Cole Palmer had a shot? One of them had a shot. Then they get their kind of goal, which is then... And again, that's from Cole Palmer, dinks it to the back post. I've seen the images online. And again, you're waiting around for 5 minutes or whatever. Because obviously, João Felix has put it in. But it's given an offside. And I haven't seen anyone really argue it. So I don't know if anyone, you know, doesn't think it's offside. But the images clearly show he's offside. So I don't understand why, again, it took 5-6 minutes to sort that VAR out, man. Because that should have been very clear cut. But obviously, ruled off. Still 1-0. And Chelsea are frustrated. And then we still got to weather that storm a little. So they're having their shots. Cucurella. I don't know what I mean, we'll get onto him because no guesses for who's going to be Doughnut of the day. But yeah, he has a shot which goes kind of wide. They have the free kick. Who took the free kick? Was it Enzo or Cole Palmer? But it is a good free kick. And he doesn't get it up and over the wall. I think he bends it round the wall. And then it hits the post. And then shout out Walton, man, because he reacts quick, man. He gets straight up and stops it on the line with the rebound. Because obviously their man, he's come off the post. And their man, I can't remember who it was, but he just taps it into the goal. Or so he thinks it is. But Walton stops it on the goal line, man. So, yeah, man. Still 1-0. And then we're like, okay, we just need to weather this storm and get to half-time. And then the referee blows for half-time, and it's a big roar. You know, everyone's buzzing. There's real belief in the stadium. You know, what a year we've had so far in 2024 or had in 2024. You know, and this would be a perfect way to end it. And, yeah, man, you know, the fan base, we were all behind them and we were ready to do our part and be that 12th man. And then second half, obviously, again, they come a bit attacking. They have a few chances. I can't remember who it is, but someone dinks a crossing, and I think it's João Felix again. He has a header, and Wesley Burns, I think it is, off the line. It looks like off the line anyway. He heads it, clears it away, you know, so stops that. And then they're trying to have a few shots, and they're passing the ball around. the shots they're having are getting either like snuffed out by Sammy or Kayust, or they're hitting a defender. And then Sammy plays the ball long, like just clearing it, basically clearing the lines. And then it gets to that in Disaster or Diassi or whatever his name is. He then plays a very lazy ball. I don't think he even checks, but he plays a very lazy ball back to his centre half or whatever. But Delap seized upon it, man. Jumped straight on that ball. We talk about that strong running, that running power. He showed that, man. Bullied and bullied and bullied. Got into that box. Cut it back. Fine Starboy. Starboy, little touch, keeps the ball, moves it aside, shifts it aside. Bang. Like we've seen so many times in 2024. Bottom corner rippling in that north stand. And it's Amari scoring, man. And what a goal, man. What a feeling. We're buzzing. He hits the flip, the little, that we've seen so many times. I didn't see it at the time anyway. I was too mad celebrating or whatever. But yeah, man, 2-0 to the Tractor Boys. And we are buzzing. And then it was just about seeing it out and being solid defensively. And that's what we did, man. We made sure that, okay, you can play around with it at the edge of the box. You can have it out on the wing. If the cross comes in, if the ball gets past these players, we got our centre-backs, three of them beasts, yeah, to deal with it all. And we had Super Christian Walton in goal. And yeah, man, really, really solid performance. And then just a comment on the Chelsea players, really, because, this £1 billion squad that we'd seen, and like I said before in my preview, that, they had the joint best or the best away form anyway, picking up like 20-odd points out of 9 games. So they're a force to be reckoned with on the road. They travel well. We shut them down at every part. And that was down to us. Like all the plaudits, pundits even, and all the media, they'll talk about Chelsea didn't do well and Chelsea this. The reason Chelsea didn't do well was because Ipswich turned up. Ipswich did what we've always done throughout 2024, which was turn up and put teams to the sword, kill them off. That's what we did. Like, I know the first goal was a penalty, but the goal was coming. You could see it. We were creating all the chances. And I know we hit them on the break, but a second goal was due. You could see it, man. You could feel it. I know it sounds corny or cheesy or whatever, but that atmosphere at Portman Road on Monday felt electric. Like, I haven't had a feeling like that in a long time. It was, I remember, we had Cov away last season. We had Barnsley away the season before. Being in the stands, feeling all that emotion. Great, brilliant, love it. Top moments. But this might just top it. Do you know what I mean? Because this was Chelsea. And I know they made their changes. But they're still quality players. They're still internationals. They're still playing European football. All of this. But they looked average. And then the attitude of them. Like, one thing we can always say about Ipswich Town, and which is why I'm very proud to be an Ipswich Town fan and supporter, I'm very proud to actually know some of these players, is the attitude we have on the pitch. Like, you don't see us like faking and like conning people or losing our heads like that. Like Cocorella, what a donut he is. And I'll talk about him in a minute when we do Donut of the Day. But he lost his head. Enzo, you're meant to be the captain. Like, you're meant to lead and set the tone for your team. No wonder the team lost their head. Was it Colwell as well, who I thought's actually quite a good centre-back? He lost his head. He was crying on the sideline, like legit wiping the tears out of his eyes. That was quite funny to see, actually. That was on the vlog if you ain't seen it. Even who was there, man, that tried to kick off with Leaf at the end or whatever, tried to grab the ball off Leaf. But he's a Geordie, man. You ain't grabbing it from him, mate. He's ready to scrap. And I love seeing that passion. All the team getting together saying, you ain't coming to Portman Road like it's an easy 3 points. You got to fight for this, man. Teams now know in 2025, if you come to Portman Road, you're going to be up for a fight. You're going to battle. And you're going to be limping out, hopefully, with 0 points. But yeah, man. What a night. What a feeling. Roll on the rest of the season. So in terms of player ratings, we'll try and keep it brief because we're going to have to go through everyone. Christian Walton in goal. Love to see him back. Questions on his distribution, all the rest of it, but I like the fact that he was playing the long balls. It kind of helped break the press for us where needed. Made some big saves, I think off the post, and then the reaction there. If we think about there was a save as well, I think, I can't remember who it was, but down low to his bottom corner in the first half, and then second half, makes some big saves or stands tall as well. So, real solid performance from Christian Walton. Only criticism I have of him, needs to work on that fist pump. I forgot to tell him after the game, but he needs to work on that fist pump because I don't know what that is. I think the third part, he was trying to he thought he's back in goal. He was trying to roll the ball out or whatever, man. But yeah, man, it's all love. Absolutely love to see Christian Walton in goal. But sort that fist pump out. Leaf, how many times have I been saying to you guys, Davis needs to be in that England team? I've been saying it probably since League One, to be honest. League One stepped up, showed he was the best. Championship stepped up, showed he's the best. And you know what? In the Prem, when we're talking about left backs and attacking left backs, statistically, he's the best in the Prem, right? And actually, here's a nice little stat for you. So he's now created 1.95 chances per 90, right? That puts him in the top 3% of all fullbacks across Europe's top 5 leagues. All fullbacks. That's La Liga, that's Serie A, that's Premier League, that's probably the French league and the German league, Bundesliga, and all the rest of it. So he's up there, man. And obviously big him up as well. It was his birthday yesterday. And here's another stat. So remember I said best in the Premier League attacking, yeah? Most chances created by a defender in the Premier League this season. Third place, Pedro Porro from Tottenham with 29. Second place, Trent Alexander-Arnold with 35 chances. In first, Leif Davis with 37 chances. He's topping that stats. So Tuchel, call up Leif, because I'll tell you straight, the moment Leif Davis gets a call up, I'm getting an England ticket. Shout out Whitby, Tom Whitby. I don't even know if he watches this, but he travels England home and away. I'm going to be pestering him to get me a ticket because, we need to see him in an England shirt. And I think I said it in one of the pre-season things, but I said the World Cup 2026 in America, Leif Davis whipping it in for Liam Delap for the winner. You heard it here first. Call me the Oracle or whatever you want to call it. Jacob Greaves, again, quality. I thought he was solid against Arsenal and he was solid again yesterday or Monday even. We know what he can do, but I like the link up with him and Davis as well. They defend quite well as a unit on that left side. And then also when we need an outlet or whatever, Davis is straight down there and Greaves is looking for that pass all the time. Wolfie, he was my man of the match against Arsenal. Come into the team. Here you go, Wolfie. You ain't played in a while. You're starting against Arsenal and you're starting against Chelsea. And Wolfie said, calm, man, I can do this. And he was brilliant, man. Fully rate him. Great player. Very comfortable on the ball. Was chatting to him after the game and he was there and he was like, shit, sorry, bro. Give me a second, man. He had something wrong with his tracksuit. He had something caught. And then when he's taking his phone out, he took his keys out. And then he took out Nicholas Jackson and that Ndudu as well, or Nduku or whatever. And he was like, oh, sorry, man. I forgot I pocketed these guys all game, man. But yeah, man, really good performance from Luke Wolfenden. And beautiful to see, man. He's one of our own. He's come through the academy. I remember him at Swindon. I remember going to watch a game at Swindon Town and he was playing there. And he went out on loan there. He'd come into our League One team, really built a name for himself during our League One's kind of time. Sent it into the Championship. And you think about all the shit he had to deal with previous managers. And now he's here in the Premier League, showing what a good defender he is. And it may not be, if he continues and we continue like we are, it may be a case that Wolfie might find himself on the verge of an England call-up. Who knows, man? O'Shea, I've been saying for a while, this guy, when he first come in, I wasn't excited about the transfer. And then he made me do a 180 and, I was fully on the O'Shea bandwagon. I've been saying it for a while and it's so good to see that everyone else is now seeing that as well. He's such a solid defender. You can see he's a natural leader, very vocal on the pitch as well. Heads it, kicks it, wins it, very quick. And actually, if you look at him, he's going to go very, very far in the game. I know he doesn't seem like an exciting player on paper, but you combine the passing and the defensive ability and his pace, combine all that. Was it 8 million or was it 15 million? Might be 12. Might be 12 plus add-ons. Say it's 15 million. I think that's a bit of a bargain. And, if he continues as he is, he might be double that value come the summer. Wesley Burns. Love to see him playing lately, man. He was obviously a bit low in confidence at the beginning of the season. There were dickheads that were calling out our own player, which obviously I think he jumped off Twitter or something like that. But, not good to see that. But he's come back and he's come back with a comeback. He's back with a comeback, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to cite the Wolves game where he come in there and I thought he performed really solid, certainly defensively as well. And then against Chelsea, I've been saying for a long time, right wing back is suited for Wes. Like, I remember him playing for Fleetwood and tearing McGuinness up as a right wing back in that COVID season or whatever, and seeing that. And then obviously he was phenomenal as a right winger in League One and the Championship. But as good as he is getting forward, he's also very good defensively. Clears the ball off the line with his header. Right place, right time. We know about his running power. Go shoulder to shoulder with him. Good luck. Good luck there, mate. But really solid performance from Wes, man. And really good to see, again, another player that's been on the journey with us and has now found their feet in the Premier League. Kayust, I had to sing the chant to him after, man, because we ain't got a chant. So I could, it wasn't even me. I got a big up Saj, actually. And it was after the Man U game. And you just changed the name of the team. So it was rolling down the street, smoking Chelsea, sipping on gin and Kayust. You get it? Like, gin and juice, Snoop Dogg. Anyway, he laughed. I don't know whether it'll catch on or whatever, but yeah, man, big up Jens Kayust. Staying up means that we pay 8 million and keep him. And what a signing that would be, because he's been brilliant. That partnership with him and Sammy just looks, it looks amazing. It's probably one of the best central midfield partnerships in the league. I ain't got no stats to back it up or whatever, but I'll try and find some stats or whatever. But by the end of the season, I think people are going to be talking about the Kayust and Morsey partnership, because it just gets better and better each week, man. Sammy Morsey, the Egyptian king, back in the team after suspension. And he was like the chant said, Portman Road is his kingdom. And the king made sure the kingdom was nice. He said, there are intruders in the kingdom. We must kick them out. And that's what happened. King Sammy Morsey ruled and Chelsea ran away with their tails between their legs. Or certainly Coccarella did anyway. But yeah, man, big performance from him. Run that midfield. Like I said, you've got, 120 million plus what Enzo was 60 million, 180 million pound players in two central midfielders that are getting overrun by Sammy and Kayust. And they didn't break sweat. They didn't even need to go to gear 4 or 5. Like, they were just sitting. They were in the slow lane. Like, if that was the motorway, they were in the slow lane doing 60, chilling. You know what I mean? They didn't even need to drop the box or anything. Didn't even need to get in the middle lane or even hit the speed limits. They were just chilling, 60 miles an hour. Everything's cool, man. But yeah, man, like I said, that partnership's amazing. And big up Sammy Morsey, man. What a journey he's been on. And he, again, never gets below an 8. Always solid for us week in, week out. And, he's had an amazing 2024. He was our player of the season last season. And what a way for him to end the year, if you like, the calendar year. And he's a player, for me, up there for man of the match, man. Broadhead, a player, again, like myself and others had been saying, needs to come back into the team. We know what he can offer. Joint top goal scorer last season. He's very positive on the ball, very attacking. Unlucky not to score himself. I think their keeper made a good save in the second half. Even in the first half, Amari breaks down the right. Broadhead cuts it back to Broadhead, edge of the box or inside the box. And I think it might have been the defender that kind of blocked it rather than their keeper. But then obviously in the second half, he has a good shot and it's a good save from them. But yeah, man, positive performance from Broadhead. Likes to run at people. We talk about ball carriers. And, you know, that link up between him, Amari, and the Lap was just, you know, it's beautiful to see, man. And it was wicked to see Broadhead in the team. And hopefully, you know, that's him back into the team, because if we are going to score goals and we are going to push on, we need Nathan Broadhead in that team, man. Starboy Amari Hutchinson, it weren't no case of the X for him. You get it? He was up against Chelsea. Obviously, I didn't do a review for the Arsenal game, but there were some Doughnut Arsenal fans booing him. I don't know why you'd boo him, right? But anyway, there may be a little wet behind the ears or something in that part of the world. I don't know, man. They're a bit maybe donuts or whatever. But anyway, he showed on Monday that, yo, Chelsea, this is your 22 M's. This is what you could have had. You didn't have the faith in me. Let me show you that I can ball out. And what a year it's been for him. He scored the most goals under McKenna, 10 goals in 2024 for Amari Hutchinson. What a breakout couple of seasons he's had. What a debut Premier League season he's had. I've said many times before, big game Amari. It was written. It was Kismet he was going to score. And what a finish. You know, you talk about, or we can talk about, the top bin goals that Amari scores, you know, the spectaculars and all the rest of it. But, you know, you talk about being meticulous and precise, the precision. You know, gets the ball, receives the ball, high pressure, 3 defenders around you, dinks around. We know he's got the quick feet, gives himself some space, shifts it to the side and finds that bottom corner. And like I said, that north stand, we've seen it so many times, man. We're so blessed to see it, man. And listen, he's a player for me, again. Years to come, we're going to be seeing him in the England team. Yeah, man, he's another player going to the very top. And again, a player for me up there for man of the match. Liam Delap. Remember when I did that preview, the West Ham preview with Steve-O the Madman? Shout out Steve-O the Madman. Love for him for jumping on that. We talked about him being the next Harry Kane. And then I've gone on to saying he's going to be a better Harry Kane. If you watch that game, or you've seen that game, or you even seen the highlights, you understand what I mean. Like, he bullied those defenders. He's showing he can bully international level defenders. He does it week in, week out. You know, running power, it's not an attribute a lot of people look at. But his running power, you ain't got a better person in the league. And I'm not being funny, the way he's going, Man City, Chelsea, whoever, you need to come with 100 million, because 21 years old, 7 league goals now in the Premier League in his debut season, most goals for an English striker in the season, you know, and this is his debut Premier League season. You're telling me he's not going to get better? Like, if Solanke can go for 60 million, then, you know, the Lap's got to be double that. So we'll take 100. We'll take 100. But yeah, man, what a performance. His most complete performance we've seen. Go run back the videos when we've talked about over the summer, and I said the Lap is the real deal. And I'm so glad he's getting his plaudits, because some of you guys questioned me when I said, yo, the Lap is going to the top. And I said he could be £100 million player. Some of you questioned all the rest of it. But yo, you're seeing it now, man. Maybe I am the oracle, man. I'm telling you about this. I'm telling you about Dar O'Shea. Like, I told you about Amari. Like, shit. Maybe I am the oracle. Maybe this is the Matrix. I don't know. But now, man, jokes aside, obviously it's you know, brilliant performance from him. You know, running power. Unlucky not to score. I think their keeper made some really good saves as well. You know, and he don't care who you play against. He reminds me of, remember when Rooney first moved to United? I know like he was raw when he come to Everton, but when he was young and he got into the England team, and then I remember it might have been his debut tournament, and we were playing France, and like, he just didn't care. He didn't care who was going up against. Like, he just didn't care. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, he backed himself, and Rooney did that throughout his career. And that's what the Lap does, man. He don't care who you are, whatever accolades you got, whatever medals you got, cool, but you're not going to stop Liam Delap. So, centre backs, goalkeepers, if you're seeing Liam Delap on the team sheet against you, it's a very long 90 minutes for you. But yeah, man, another player up there for man of the match. So the man of the match, for me, the top three, and like I said, everyone gets an 8. Honourable mention to Jens Kuyus, Dara O'Shea, and obviously Luke Wolfenden. But the top three for me, third place, the skip, Mr. Sami Saeed Morsy, the king. The king made sure the kingdom was cool, the kingdom was calm, and the kingdom was protected. That's what he did. And didn't let like Chelsea's little antics get to him or whatever. Remain professional while being that Don in the midfield. So yeah, man, big up Sammy Morsy. Brilliant to see him there. And what a 2024 it had been for him. Second, Starboy Amari. No case of the X. We leave that to Maya. But yeah, what a performance for him against his former club. Really showed, look, this is what I'm about. I can play. And I've said time and time again, big game Amari. We talk about ball retention. We talk about, recoveries. And then obviously, going forward in terms of dribbling, taking players on, the decision making, and the goal. The goal kind of epitomised everything that was good about Amari on Monday. Knew when to take the touch, knew when to shift it, and knew where to shoot. Like, this wasn't I need to just smash it top bins, or I need to do that. There's only one place that I can really find the bottom of the net. I need to shift it, and I need to go across the keeper into the bottom corner. And that's what he did to perfection. And, goal aside, ball carrying was brilliant. Bully was bullying up Casado. Casado's is, meant to be this enforcer or whatever. And Amari's bullying him up, you know what I mean? So, solid performance for him. Chelsea fans must be thinking, what could have been? But yeah, man, long may it continue. And hopefully we keep him, beyond the summer and longer. And then man of the match for me, it's one man and one man only, Mr. Liam Delap. I keep saying he's going to be a better Harry Kane. Forget the next Harry Kane. He's going to be a better Harry Kane. And you can see what I mean. He offers so much more. Kane don't run like Liam Delap. Kane don't have that power and strength like Liam Delap. Liam Delap is the all-round package. Like, he's the real deal. And when we're talking about football and we're talking about centre forwards, there aren't that many in the game. There's a lot more number 10s and wide players. There aren't many out-and-out centre forwards. So it's all about supply and demand. And right now, Ashton's the plug. We've got the supply. And if you want that, it's going to cost you at least 100 million, if not more. But yeah, man, big up Liam Delap. Solid performance. His best performance in the township to date. And he's just getting better and better and better. Today's Donuts of the day is none other than Mark Cucurella. The guy looks like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. And I get it. He spent half the game looking for Bart Simpson. But you're here to do a game of football. You need to play football. And you went on and cried like a little rat. You spent half the game pointing to some band or whatever that you had on, because you won the World Cup or whatever. And let's be real, you only won the World Cup because there ain't a lot of Spanish left backs anyway. So the quality ain't there. You're the best of a bad bunch, and you were fortunate to be in a very good team. Then you've joined Chelsea after having a one-hit wonder or one-season wonder. Was it at Brighton? And you ain't really done a lot at Chelsea. You spend half your time moaning around the pitch, rolling around the pitch and doing all the rest of it. Like, I don't know what's up with you. You're meant to be a professional. Get out of here, man. You can't talk about being a World Cup winner and then crying around. And then you want to go grab the ball up off Sammy when the guys, the referees, seen that your man's got a head injury. Or as we found out, it was a fake head injury anyway. So it would have been our ball anyway. So don't you know the rules? Like, are you not familiar with the rules? It was going to be our ball. You went to try and grab the ball off Sammy. And then Sammy just dashed you like you were like little Scrappy Doo and all the rest of it. Dashed him like a little rag doll. Don't you feel like a donut? And then the lap don't even connect with you and you go down holding your leg. Like, what is it, man? Why was Cucurella such a little cheating rat? You'd think, you'd worry more about your football and Bart Simpson. But clearly not, man. But yeah, man. Mark Cucurella, you, sir, are the donut of the day. But yeah, what a performance, what a win, and what a way to end 2024. The year started with an away draw at Stoke and a bit of a drab draw. You know, you can go watch the vlog if you want. It's in the playlists folder. Um, we didn't really create a lot. We looked struggling. We looked short on ideas. Went on, obviously, to get promoted. What a season it ended up being. And we've had some really good seasons so far in terms of performances. And now, like I said many times before, McKenna talks about the foundations, building those foundations in the first part of the season, and then seeing them come to fruition later on in the season. And that's what's happening. We turned a bit of a corner against Wolves, got a bit of a thrashing, which was always due. We were always going to get that from someone from Newcastle. Had a good, solid defensive performance against Arsenal. And yes, I know we conceded one goal, but it was one goal against Arsenal. We just put 5 past Palace and 8 past them in two games or whatever. And then we turned out that performance against Chelsea, and we could have won 3 or 4-0, to be honest. 2-0 flattered us. Flattered us or didn't flatter us? What's the right way of saying that? Always get that part confused. But that either way, we could have gone on and scored more. The foundations have been set, and now we're seeing things come to fruition. And as I've said time and time again, I back us to beat the drop, and I think we'll be fine. We're going to have a good January. January traditionally under Ashton's been very good. Ashton and Luke Wearing, I know, will be working and have been working hard on deals. I expect some announcements in the coming days, if not early next week. Obviously, we know we're looking at Latte Laff from Borough. He's a striker. We're looking at Glenn Kamara or that Endo. Glenn Kamara, who was on loan at Leeds last season from Rangers. He went to Rennes. He not really played a lot for him, more cameo appearances, but he's a bit of a central midfielder. I guess he'd be a bit of cover, a bit more for depth. But there is another one that we're rumoured to be looking at, which is Endo. Again, I'm just talking rumours at the moment. But Endo, who I think is a Japanese international who plays for Liverpool, hasn't really broken out or had a lot of time with them. So I imagine that would be something on loan. There's a right back, Dedic, who looks like a very good, solid player as well. And the one that's a bit out of field is Ziyech, who I think is it Galatasaray? I think he's out, but he's out in Turkey at the moment. Not had a lot of appearances. Got a lot of experience in terms of, I think he might have even had the Champions League experience, but, very good player and another player that we've been looked at. And this is the market we're in now. We are looking at those players, and there's no reason that Ashton and Luke Wearing and the team won't deliver. So combine that with the foundations that have been set, add the depth, and it equals us staying up and having a good season. So yeah, man, absolutely buzzing. Bring on the rest of 2025, and I'll catch you all at Craven Cottage on Sunday. See you later, peeps.